Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Simic Broodscale combo on the draw for game one. Chrysalis, we've more or less determined, just is not a great card for the deck. It might provide some backup on the mid-range game plan, but overall just does not seem to be really conducive to the overall game plan. So we're going to test out Thought-Knot here, see if it clearing the way will be good. Alright. We're looking at Temple into Saga into Fleshrake at the very least. I'd love to see a green source off the top. Rumble's not it. We'll pass. And pass. Arid Mesa, no fetch. Makes me feel like maybe... No, I was gonna say maybe Storm, but nope, it's Zoo. Zoo holding what? There's the Broodscale. Okay, we still need a green source, though. So, Fleshrake. Pass. Triome, pass. Three Fable. So it looks like the Fable version, okay. Trigger. Alright, so I'm going to ramp Scrydraw or ramp Exile. Actually, no, we can Scrydraw Exile here. Always yield. Always yield. Next turn we can TKS at the very least. We do not want Rumble right now. Give me a green source, thank God for that. So I can Ancient Stirrings or we can Rumble. Rumble's mana neutral but doesn't see as many cards, so we'll go Stirrings. Second Broodscale seems right. We also could go Ballista. Ballista is a win con. Second Blade also could be relevant. Yeah, we either want protection from... I guess regardless, yeah, we'll go Broodscale. I would have liked the second Blade regardless, right? Attack for 2. And hold. Just on the off chance that we need to sack the spawn. But I think the only reason why I would need to do that's Bowmaster, and we don't exactly see a lot of that nowadays. But we're set up for Emrakul next turn. Because they know we have the Blade. We know they know that we have the Broodscale. So they know we have the combo. Blue-red. Tribal Flames. That's fine. So that's Sorcery Speed interaction. In that case, draw, trigger, float. Blade of the Bloodchief. Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. Eldrazi. Broodscale. Equip. Do you have interaction? I mean, this is more or less just an interaction check. Okay, there's the binding. Do you hit the Broodscale or hit the Blade is the next question. You go for the Broodscale. We don't have enough mana to play the other Broodscale and then go off. So I think the right move is then to just adapt. Might as well ramp while we're at it. I mean, there's no way that you bolt this. There would be no reason to. I do feel like they should have probably went for the blade instead of the Broodscale. But I guess, to be fair, I have more blades than Broodscales. Alright, Leyline Binding. Trigger, or rather, stack, resolves, passing. Alright. Pass. There's Reflection of Kiki Cheeky, 3 in hand. Draw. I mean, I think it's just right for us to check again. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Huh. I mean, we could just Emrakul. We could just do that. Let's start off with Broodscale, though. Broodscale number 2. Always a backup Broodscale. It's uncounterable. And if we get into it and they interact, then we can just TKS. Should leave them with very few things to work with. What you think, opponent? Opponent's thinking for a long time here. Either they have something and they're weighing their odds? Oh no. Or they're just cursing me. Or themselves for going for the Broodscale rather than the blade. I guess there's that possibility as well. Isn't that right, Butter? He's decided to join me with this recording session. He's curled up in my lap. Alright. In that case, equip. Do you have instant speed interaction? Another binding. Okay, this time for the Broodscale or for the blade? For the Broodscale. Okay. Well, in that case, do we adapt again? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we wouldn't have Emrakul next turn if we play the Thought Knot. If we adapt, we would. Yeah, that resolves. TKS. Always yield. Fetch Flooded Strand. For Temple Garden tapped. And TKS. Out of the Travel Flames. Alright, so they really don't have anything in hand then. That's a good start. You know about Steam Vents, and that's it. So next turn we can Rumble, try and find other Broodscales. And if not, we start angling towards Emrakul. Combat, passing, Wooded Foothills. Why not play the Steam Vents? I guess because you want to surveil. TKS, not really inclined to play that right now. Green, colorless. Rumble. Another Blade. I guess we could have Maya. We have 7 types. 9, 10, 11, 12. Green. And you. Rumble again. Wooded Foothills. Sacred Foundry. Tapped. Valkyne Ballista or TKS. I mean, Valkyne Ballista is good. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we'll go Ballista. And X equals 1. Go to combat. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we can equip Blade to Ballista, then cast Emrakul, and Bone scoops it up. Alright. We'll take the win against Zoo for game 1. We're going to want to bring in Wastegate Battle Mage and Dismember. So Wastegate, Dismember. They still run Flage. Sagabus Soul Cauldron's still relevant. Got Flesh Rake, Ballista, Emrakul, and I'd say maybe 1 Agatha, 1 Rumble. Yeah, that probably feels right. At the same time, Thought Knot does not block well here. I guess at the same time it does clear the way, but yeah, I think we cut the Thought Knot. Because yeah, it doesn't block Kavu well, can't block Scion. It was kind of awkward. Can get easily removed. I was going to bring in Consigned Memory. Trying to think what else. I don't know if they have any disenchants or artifact removal in their side. And they have a ton of interaction in the deck between Leyline Binding, Bolt, Tribal Flames. So I don't think they really need it. They might bring in some number of Charmaw along with Consign. Yeah, maybe. It is a possibility. Hi, me. Both cats have decided to join me. Yeah. I think Wastegate kind of fills the role of Thief here. Yeah, I think this is correct. Like I said, my main concern of TKS is just there's so many ways for them to either A, remove it, or B, that it just does not really block well. Doesn't really buy us much in the way of time. I think the only thing it can really block would be a Goblin Shaman token or Ragavan. But opponent might not be sideboarding. Either that or my game is bugged. I'm not sure which. I've had it happen before where even though it says deck submitted, it doesn't. So there's a possibility. No, something's wrong. Just sitting on 0. Oh, there we go. Nope, so we're good. Guess opponent didn't sideboard. Wastegate Battle Mage is decent removal. Dismember's decent removal. And my cat's decided to throw up. Alright, well, I'll have to take care of that in a moment. I will keep this. I will pass. The light halfling gives us our color source that we're looking for. We'd love to see a temple off top. Alright, and down you go. Opponent keeps their opening 7, but as a pregame action it looks like, if I had to guess. So at least Halfling allows us to theoretically go Windswept Halfling Breeding Pool into Wasescape kicked. That could be relevant, especially if they have a Ley Line of the Guild Pact in hand. Flooded Strand fetch, so no Ley Line of the Guild Pact. Wild Nakata, okay. Well, now the Thought-Knot Seer is looking arguably better. Flesh Rake, that's a solid turn 2. Forest, Halfling, and pass, and pass. Well, they don't interact with a Halfling. We'll take the 2. Down to 17 unless you fetch. No fetch. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't fetch to deal me an extra damage here. Another Nakatl. Draw. Emrakul. Not really wanting the Emrakul right now. I'll shock. And attempt to resolve Flesh Rake. Flesh Rake resolves. I'll pass. They fetch. Triome. So we'll take 6 down to 9, it looks like. Nice thing is Wasescape can start generating us mana. White, red, Tribal Flames. I mean, at least that's not 5 at me, down to 9. Draw. You have Maya. 2. So we can go K Command X2. I think it is right for me to exile Nakatl here while their shields are down. They don't have a blue source. Bumps up to 4, 8, 10. 3 short of Emrakul. You can always dismember the Nakatl if needed. If they have nothing else going on for them, then this is fine. They're just trying to go Nakatl beats. Makes 2 spawns. Passing. We'll hold the Dismember. Lush Port. The thing is, the Dismember pushes us down to 5, which means a Tribal Flames gets us. I'm not entirely thrilled by that prospect. Flage. That's a problem. To blocks. Rather, to attacks first. Go to blocks. I'll block the Nakatl. Like I said, this member's a bit awkward here. We can bounce the Nakatl next turn, actually, which is relevant. When they play a Scion, we can exile the Scion. Yeah, it's kind of what we're looking at right now. I'll sack. And face change. Play a Scion. No Scion. Okay. Draw. Rumble. So we can rumble. This would be 4. This is 5. Green. Colorless. there's Ballista. Ballista does not cut it. We go Temple. Temple. Kick blue. Blue. Bounce Nakatl. Do you have Consign? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have an uncountable Emrakul next turn. Green. No. If they have a fetch, no, they're still short on Flage. Fable's fine. In fact, that is a-okay because we can Wastegate, bounce, exile. I think they're angling for Flage here. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. So we're going to kick. So blue, green, colorless, and colorless. Exile, bounce. This way they can't get to Flage. You know they have the Wild Nakatl in hand. Why didn't they play it is the question. Fable down. 'Tis exiled. I guess the only downside of doing this is that if they have a Leyline Binding, they'll hit the Emrakul, right? Yeah. I guess that is a bit of a downside. Down to 13. Nakatl. Passing. 4 in hand. Draw. Ballista. So, my thought here is just maybe make a big Ballista. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14, 15, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I can sack the spawns for the Ballista. We don't want to kill the Nakatl because we don't want to feed the Flage. We could cast that Emrakul, but we could be playing directly into a Leyline Binding's the only problem. Our other Wastegate Battle Mage is already in Yard. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is an Emrakul. It is uncounterable. Yeah, so I do wonder if I should have played that last turn. Red Bolt, target me. Bolt, target me. Down to 6. I'm gonna hold. There's the bindings. I was right to be worried about that. Emrakul down. We still take control of their turn. 5, another binding. Okay, so double binding would have mattered then. That is a bit awkward. They should have done this on end step, to be fair, because now I do have a chance to change up what I was going to do. The problem is it doesn't change too much. Yeah, it doesn't change too much is the problem. Because I can't really deal with Nakatl effectively. Alright. Run it back. Stubborn Denial. Draw. Leyline the Guild Pact. Yeah, I don't really want to play either one of these, nor do I want to counter if I could. We don't want to block the Nakatl unless I absolutely need to. So I think we just pass. And pass and hold. If Nakatl attacks, we block with a spawn. I don't think they can even play the binding, or not the binding, the Leyline, the Guild Pact, can they? Oh, they can. Okay. All colors, they attack. We block the spawn. Yep. Because again, we don't want them playing Flage. Blade. Okay. Oh, that becomes interesting. So, cast Blade. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Ballista. Equip the Ballista. Go to combat. And hold. Again, if they attack from the Nakatl, we block with the spawn. Now then trigger Ballista to grow it. To combat. Nakatl blocks and block and sack. Trigger. Always yield. Phase change. We know they have the denial in hand. There's 2 unknowns. Just playing very carefully around the Flage. Draw. Flash Rake. Cast Flash Rake. Make it uncounterable. I think I do want to leave back the Halfling as a blocker, though. Five. Down to 6. Passing. Does Flage get stuck in yard? I think it does. Oh, there's a fetch. Down to 5. Mountain. So here comes Flage. Flage ETB. Targets. They target, let's say, Flesh Rake, the Ballista grows. If they target the Ballista, they don't gain life. So this one's a bit interesting. Hi, Butter. Yeah. A. Don't play flyers. If they go for Flash Strike, we can also ping. They go for me. Bold move caught him. So I'll go up to 8. Okay, down to 3, up to 8. Do you have a bolt? You do not. It's probably not wise to attack here, because we can just block the halfling, grow the ballista. The thing is, things get very interesting for you next turn now. Put a counter on ballista. And draw. Another ballista. Well, I think that will end it. Triggers. Always yield. Consign. Consign what? The ballista. Down to 7. So what I can do here then is I can sack the spawn 5/2. They have to block the ballista. Yeah, we just go to combat. Go to blocks. They have to block the ballista. They block the flesh rake. Ballista then will sack spawn. Trigger. Remove. Remove, and bone scoops it up. Alright, we got there. Not bad at all. Alright, well, we will be back for match number 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep this. A little bit weird, but it could be interesting. We got TKS on 3. Looking at Stearns on 1, Soul Cauldron on 2, TKS on 3. We could make an uncounterable. Alternatively, we can go TKS on 2. That is an alluring option. Let's go that route. If we feel that it could be like an Oculus deck or counterspell heavy deck, then maybe we just delay it by going Cauldron or Ancient Stirrings on 2 instead, and set up for TKS on 3 based on the sewers. Yeah. Ooh, could be Grixis control given the lightning bolt. That'd be my guess. I actually want to go Agatha Soul Cauldron so we can hit Bolt out of Yard, stop the Snapcast. Steam Vent Shock. Delver. Huh. Was not expecting to see a Delver today. Alright. Well, shield's down, so TKS is free. Malevolent Rumble. TKS. I think we take the Thought Scour. I mean, they can force. Do I care about Thought Scour? Not really. We'll take the force. I like to resolve my own things, thank you. Alright, Delver, does it flip? It does. EI. Thought Scour. Attack for 3. Nope. Watery Grave. Oh, they put EI into Yard. Is this a Murktide? Well, shoot. This is Grixis Murk. Not liking that at all. We'll take the 3 down to 17. Draw. At this point, we just need to go for the combo, basically. So, Forest, Rumble. We don't need Ballista because we have Aggie Soul Cauldron. Do I take the Delighted Halfling? Or Boseiju? Honestly, none of this is really too appealing. We can Aggie Soul Cauldron. Yeah, I guess I'll grab the Boseiju so I don't have to hurt myself for green. Aggie Soul Cauldron. Actually, no, I can only generate colorless. Yeah, major downside there. Because you can activate abilities. You may spend manas, though or mana of any color to activate abilities of creatures I control. So, unfortunately, I can't cast Stirrings. Well, I'll pass. On end step, we'll definitely grab the halfling to ramp. Thundering Falls. So we're at least going on the 5 right now. Disrupting Shoal. What in the fresh hell am I playing against? Down to 5. End step. Aggie Soul Cauldron, target halfling. TKS. I can now tap it for mana. Alright. If we get Blade, we win. So Stirrings goes Digging. There's Blade. Resolves. Play Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. Green. Colorless. Broodscale. Blade. No. Thought Scour, digging for answers. Blade equip. Agatha Soul Cauldron, Walking Ballista. Target Broodscale. Always yes. Always yield. Always yield. And then go to 15 and win. Opponent's deciding not to concede. 3 cards in hand, we know 2. One's an unknown. And opponent concedes. Alright, we got there. That was looking dicey. We needed exactly that, but we got there. Good stuff. More of a Murktide list. I foresee Harbingers in my future. I'm wondering if Defense Grid would be good. I mean, the only... Let's see. No, they'll probably bring in Nihil Spellbomb, so cut an Emrakul. I had the Soul Cauldron's not bad to try and weaken Murktide, now that I know they're playing Murktide and not Grixis control. The thing is, if I want Defense Grid, I'm going to need to cut a few cards. I guess maybe just 2 Rumble and call it there. Rumble is the weaker of the two between Stirrings and Rumble. TTS seems decent to disrupt. Defense Grid. Wayscape Battle Mage is also an interesting prospect because if they cast the Murktide, we bounce it, but it's kind of the only use. Unless they bring in something else. So I think the Defense Grid might be better here. I'll keep those, yeah. And pass. Another Delver. Do I play my Blade on 1? I mean, it's a force check. Draw. Ancient Stirrings. In that case, I'm thinking we go Brooding Bull Shock and force check. There's K-Command. I do like K-Command. Cauldron's also decent, but we'll go K-Command to dig. And pass. And do they flip? They do not. Steam Vents. Shocked 18. Attack for 1. And draw. Another Flesh Rake. I mean, I'm expecting them to have a counterspell here. So we could use the K command as permission. That would be an idea. Yeah, we'll use the K command as permission. Tap. Thought Scour. There's Murktide Force. 5, 6, 7. It'd be a small Murktide though. Delver. Does it flip? It does not. Thought Scour. Frog. 1, 2, 3. Combat. Did they miss a land drop? They did not, but it's a Surveil land. Delver to Yard. Combat. Let's not belabor the point. I'm gonna ramp Exile. And see if you want to consign it. Perfect. No combat though. They must have passed through it by accident. Alright, so it worked as we wanted. We could force check and then Flesh Rake. I think we're gonna Saga. I'm not sure I want to force check though. I think I will simply play Flesh Rake. You need a Flare, which you don't have. Blade of the Blood Chief is mana neutral. This way we can hold up Dismember. Do you have the Force? You do have the Force, Vision of Frog, okay. So glad that we did it that way. Delver. Spell Snare revealed. So they have Spell Snare. Do you have a Murktide? Yes. So we did assume that was the case. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take 3 down to 14. Spell Snare in hand. Draw. TKS. Let's start with Malevolent Rumble. Oh no, let's start with Glaring Flesh Rake, yeah. Yes, Glaring Flesh Rake. You know, I have the Spell Snare. We can play around that. Doesn't look like you have a Consign then. That's 3. We'll pass. No attacks. So again, this is looking at 11 down to 3. Three cards in hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can't block. Down to 3. End step, draw. Float. Blade. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The thing is they have the Spell Snare, so I can't rumble. TKS is -2. What are my other options here? I don't know if I have any is the problem. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 at most. So if I Stirrings... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Stirrings. Like I said, we can't Spell Snare. There's Aggie Soul Cauldron. That doesn't do anything, though. There's Cavernous Souls. There's Yavimaya. Spell Snare will just brick. Huh. Even Aggie Soul won't resolve. I mean, I could Cavernous Souls. It resolves the TKS. Name Eldrazi. TKS. This puts you down 1, so 2, 4, 6. It'll put you down 6, down to 9. 9, 7, 5, 4. Actually, no, we might have it. Ooh, well now we don't. Yeah, I think we actually had it before. Because 2, 4, 6, 6, 8, 10. 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we did. We had it exactly, I think. Damn. TKS. Spell Snare, Thought Scour. I don't think it matters now. We'll take the Thought Scour. We can only hit them down to 10. 7, 11. Or 7, 9, 11. Damn. Unfortunate. Alright, well, I will concede here. Yeah, that Kozak's command saved them big time. 7, 9, 11, yeah. Alright. Cut the gemstone. Return Flesh Rake. I'm not seeing a lot of counter spells from them. Like, yeah, there's the Consign. You know, I'll run it back like this. We saw Consign, we saw Force, we saw Disrupting Shoal. We didn't see, like, Counterspell proper. I guess we also saw Spell Snare, which is pretty relevant in our deck. Or against it, rather. I'm gonna play for game 3. I mean... yeah, we keep this. I will go... Temple... Blade. Do you have a force? No force. And pass. And draw. Saga. Trigger. Pass. And pass. Blue Delta fetch. Frog. Draw. Cavernous Soul. So we can make the Basking Broodscale uncounterable. The biggest thing will be able to adapt after. Because 1, 2, or I guess 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. I guess that's the unfortunate part here, right? We can play Counterspell's Name Eldrazi. Because it needs to have, we need to have 5 mana. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we have 5. So yes, we'll go Cavernous Souls, Name Eldrazi. And I will pass. We'll make a construct. Either to chump block or just to be on the board. Actually, for the second blade, the construct is lethal. So on one hand, I don't want to give him another card. On the other hand, the construct, if they have no interaction, results in me winning. Right? I'm gonna go for a chump here. And forces them to pitch a card or interact. We get a bolt, so that works out. We'll pass in full. Pitch a land. Okay. I feel like you're going to pitch a land anyway, so this means that they really don't have much here. 4 cards in hand. I'd love to see you tap out, but no dice. Tap. Consign. That's fine. Shock. So we want to make sure that we do it like this. Green, colorless, Broodscale. Colorless, equip. Polluted Delta, fetch. Steam Vent, shock. Bolt. Bolt. I will adapt. And always yes, always yield. Unfortunate. So that is Broodscale down. Always yield. And I suppose we'll pass there. I'll hold. Let's see if they float. Land. That's really unfortunate for you, unless you have a counterspell. Sack trigger. Dismember frog. Frog down. Thoughtseize hits nothing. What is your last card in hand is the question. If it's a Murktide, I'm in trouble. Ah, shit. I'm in danger. Alright, so I need... Let's see. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Emrakul doesn't cut it. I need a Broodscale. Or a way to get to a Broodscale. That's not a way to get to Broodscale. 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. No, even that doesn't cut it. I mean, we could Saga trigger. Saga's not going to do anything either. E-temp and pass. I'm in danger. I feel like we played that right. And pass. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'd be short 1 of a K command. So I think Murktide's my only real out. Draw. Did I say Murktide? I meant Emrakul. Emrakul's my only real out, and I didn't draw anything. Sure, I did. Yep, I did. Okay, concede. Yeah, like I said, I feel like I played that right, so I can't really complain too much. All right, well, we'll be back for match number 3. All right, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. We'll keep this. I will pass. It's Zoo. Did Zoo win a challenge recently or something? Because I feel like I'm seeing a lot of it. Draw. Cavern Souls, Urza Saga, pass. Do we play Basking Broodscale next turn? Do I need to? I do, don't I? Yeah, I think I do. Kavu. The thing is, we also need a payoff. Draw. Trigger. Yeah, because if I try and play it next turn, then it won't work out. Because we need, again, 5 mana. If I play it now, we only need 3, which means I'm on curve. So I'm going to play Reading Bull Shock. Let's see if they have interaction. We'll pass. Tis a Broodscale. 3 cards in hand. If they have no interaction, we potentially have the win next turn. Sometimes you just have to go for it. Because, yeah, if they don't attack, it means they have nothing. Because they know that Broodscale will kill them. Bolt? Unfortunate. Alright. So, back where we started, then. Kavu. Discard. No, exile. Interesting. Why exile? I guess they like whatever cards they have in hand. Ragavan? It's a monkey. Draw. Emrakul. Float. Unfortunately, we can't make a construct to block the monkey. 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I think at this point we just play Saga to try and make some constructs next turn. We'll pass at this point. And we're kind of all in on the Broodscale, hoping they didn't have interaction. So we'll take 7 down to... what is that? 6? Yeah, 7 down to 6 right now. Double Bolt kills me. We can make a construct and block the Ragavan next turn. So we're not necessarily dead. Saga out, making sure I can't cast Emrakul. Excuse me. Hits Temple, that's fine. Not exactly going to help me right now. Leyline Binding the Blade, that's okay. Even if you drew into a Broodscale, it didn't matter. I feel like that probably is better to be held, but that's just me. Draw. Trigger. Halfling. Yeah, Halfling does work as a blocker. The only downside here is either we have Halfling as a blocker or we have the Construct as a blocker. Doesn't really matter too much, so I think we just go E-Temp and then hold. Yeah, because they could have had lethal if they held the binding. That tells me, it makes me feel like they have interaction in hand. So we can either block the Kavu or we can block the Ragavan. If we block the Ragavan, we're down to 1, so we're dead to a Bolt. That's uncomfortable that you decided not to draw. That means you like what you have in hand. Interaction? Lock. So we're dead to a Tribal Flames irregardless. We're dead to a Bolt if I don't block the Kavu. I'll block the Ragavan. Black. Bowmaster? Tribal Flames. Okay. Yeah, did not matter then. It very much did not matter what I chose there. I was dead regardless. Alright. Well, I will go to game 2, bring in Wastegate Battle Mage, and Dismember. And I think we decided last time we're just going to cut TKS here. And Cavernous Soul, so I guess we can keep 1 TKS. Oh, no, never mind. I was wrong. Because you brought in three-way escape, to dismember, yeah. Okay. This looks right. Because again, TCAS just does not block well here. One of the matchups where Chrysalis does shine is Zoo. But it just feels very awkward a lot of the times. On the play for game 2. Blade Broodscale, I mean, yeah. You just need a green source. Another Leyline of the Guild Pact. Andrazi Temple. Blade. Pass. Pass. Wooded Foothills. Paying cost 4. Binding, that's fine. That's one less interaction. Again, I do need a green source. Then again, a Flesh Rake and a Flesh Rake's pretty good. Flesh Rake. Pass. I mean, if we draw into a green source, we have the win here. They have no interaction. Paying cost 4. Binding. Okay. Again, with level land. Draw. And their blade. I think we just continued the Flesh Rake. Flesh Rake. Pass. Consign. Handful of interaction, eh? Alright, well, you definitely can't win next turn then. What else you got? Kavu? There's Kavu. So shields down. Land. Okay, we did find the land. There's Blade. So now comes the question. Shields are down, but we can't win. K commands our win condition is the problem. 2 cards in hand, they get at least 2 draws to try and find answers. If we play the Broodscale now, we have to commit. Oh, actually, if we play the Broodscale now, we can't necessarily even win next turn. I guess no, we can, because we can just equip now. I mean, I think I have to go for it. The other option is just the K command X2 and to XL Kavu and ramp. But then we have nothing. No win conditions, at least. We've already burned through 2 of our 11. 13 if you want to count Emrakul. So we're down to 11 off the top. Yeah, so that's the question is the K command the Kavu or not. You know what? Let's K command the Kavu. Because it sets me up for next turn, right? Kavu down. We'll pass in full. If we draw into a land, actually we can win off of the spawns. Kavu, 1 card in hand. They've been aggressive on binding. E-temp. Okay. This gets interesting. Let's attempt to resolve the Broodscale. Does Broodscale resolve? It does. We equip the Broodscale. Does this resolve? It does. Sack. Always yield. Always yes. Always yield. Okay, so here's where it becomes fun. Blade. Equip blade. Triggers. Arid Mesa fetch for Surveil land? Yes. So basically, we're going to make 1,000,000 tokens. They're going to be 1,000,000 each. Equip. Basically, I just told my opponent, here's what I'm going to do. Going to make 1,000,000 tokens. They're going to be 1,000,000 each. Do you concede? Because I don't think they can, like, they can deal with one big one, but they can't deal with 1,000,000 of them. So we sack. Now we're making 2 per 7. We're going to make 3 per. And I might as well actually just do this now. We'll make this one a 20/20. But it just says cool. Alright. I mean, it's a chess clock, but I mean, they're the one at the time deficit. So I'll just do this until they hit 19. I draw a leyline, it's a game. The tokens are million/million as well. Like, no, you don't understand. The tokens are growing. It's not just the brood scale. I draw a leyline and it's a game. I have outs. What out do you have to 1,000,000 tokens that are 1,000,000 power, 1,000,000 toughness? What? Do they run Wrap the Skies now? Am I like confused? Okay. Go to combat. Attack for 19. Triggers. I guess I'll just pass here. What else could you have? A Wrath Disguise is my only thought. Like, it has to be a straight sweeper. It can't be damage based. Rakdos Charm? Alright. What could they have been referencing? Now I want to look at a zoo list real quick. Hold up. Now I'm curious. What else could you have even been referencing? Come on. Modern. Zoo. Ragavan, isn't it? Kavu, Flage, Scion, no. Nothing main, basically. Deafening Silence, no. Pyroclasm, no. Oh, you do run Rat the Skies. Weird. Okay. So that's good to know. That is good to know. I don't like it, but it's good to know. Cut Aggie Soul for our gemstone. Like, the main thing we have with Aggie Soul is Flage. And they run, like, what, two? Two Flage? One Flage? How many Flage? 4 Flage. Maybe we keep the Aggie Soul. Kavu can hit Emrakul. Yeah, so I think the only out then would be Wrath. Okay. Didn't think that they ran Wrath Disguise. Interesting. Maybe it's a response to an increase in Broodscale decks? That'd be my main thought. We have the Blade. We're looking specifically for Broodscale now. Pass. Ragavan. Rude. Well, we're playing half lane, so I'll snap block that. Saga. Play Saga onto Fetch. You have Maya for blue. Halfling, pass. Saga next turn. We could go Aggie Soul. And pass. Land. Do you have interaction? Yep, I will snap block the Ragavan. No reason for me not to here. White. Green. Doorkeeper. Ah. So basically, we can't go Flesh Raker route. That is fine. Urza Saga. Aggie Soul. I will say that does mean Flage is a bit frightening. Because it circumvents the escape clause. Didn't think they ran Doorkeeper Throw anymore. Surveil. Well, there's a Flage. Why'd you put that in yard, though? Fetch. Huh. Why would you put that in yard knowing full have the Aggie Soul? Why not just keep it on top since you have the Doorkeep Thrall? My only guess is that they have a Flage in hand. So what I'd really want now is a whatchamacallit. Let's get rid of this now. Get rid of Flage. Goodbye, Flage. What we really want now in that case is a K command off top. Either that or Dismember. K command, Dismember. Yeah, any of those. Draw. Battle Mage. Battle Mage is interesting. We can't do it this turn, but we can next. That's not an artifact, unfortunately. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we'll go E-Temp. I will pass. What we can do is bounce the Flage. Interestingly enough. So do you play Flage? If you do, we'll bounce it next turn. We'll bounce Exile, actually. Which is nice. Goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Tribal Flames. Target me. Yes, that resolves. So no Flage in hand. Interesting. No attacks. End step. Make a Saga. Tis a token. Cauldron, target Ragavan. and draw. Float. Do I want to float? Do I want to play the Wastegate right now? Probably not. In that case, I think we just continue making constructs. Trigger. Blade. E10. Equip blade to the other construct. Go to combat. Swing for 5. I mean, we just can go construct beats at this point. Down to 13. Draw. Steam Vent Shock. Tapped. 2 in hand. White, black. White, black. Red. Flage. So we're just going to time walk them next turn then. Flage. End step. We can Aggie Soul the Halfling. It does reduce a type in Yard, but does some interesting stuff because now we have more mana available to us. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're not there yet. Draw. Oh, well, that works too. So we can do a lot. I want to Yavimaya Coast. I'm just going to... No, not do that. Let's see. Blue, green. I guess I do have to do that. Colorless. I guess in that case... I guess I do have to go blue, green. Yeah. I guess I don't need to go green. Like, I don't... There's no point... Yeah, actually, hold on. There's no point in me kicking for green here. So blue. And like this. Bounce. You. And that case, combat. Okay. Down to 3. I will pass. I guess I could have played the blade. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So play the Flage again by all means. Yep. Like, unironically, the Doorkeep Thrall might be hurting them more than helping them with the Flage right now. Which is kind of funny to me. Red. Bolt? That's a bad idea. Trigger? Three types in Yard. End step? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we could do that, but there's no reason to. The game's over. So yeah, we'll just Aggie Soul Cauldron, Wastegate. Yeah, the game is very much over. And I'll just... don't even need a ramp. Scry draw, exile Flage. No Flage, please. And Pumpkin Seeds. They see the writing on the wall. And we got there. Alright. Yeah, Wayscape is kind of fun. I do like it. That said, we'll be back for match 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. I mean, I'm kind of just looking at TKS Beatdown, I suppose. Gemstone Cavern. Do we just pitch Yavimaya? Play Delight Halfling on 1. Yeah. And pass. I'd love to see a Glane Flesh Rake off top. Steam Vent Shock 17. Tamiyo draw. Halfling. Well, no, I kind of wish I had Yavimaya, don't I? Temple, pass, and pass. I mean, I guess I'm able to play Halfling and TKS next turn regardless. Tamiyo trigger. Could be Wizards. Saga. Excuse me. Could be VV combo. Yeah, okay. So it's Cutter. In that case, TKS. Let's see what you got in hand, friend. What? Huh. I hate all of this. I suppose I'll take Emery? Do we take Emery or another Cutter? Like, triple Cutter feels bad, but also Emery's rough, so I'll take Emery. Play Halfling. Go to combat. Swing for 1. Yikes. So, Scouting Tarn, Emery, attack Tamiyo. Construct is a 4/4 now. Draw. Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. TKS, number 2. ETB trigger, Metallic Rebuke, and Corey's Steel Cut. Not too worried about the Rebuke, so I'll take a Corey's Steel Cut. Play Breeding Pool, tapped in that case. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're off by 5. Yeah, I mean, I think we simply don't attack, because right now it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be a 4/4. Then again, it's going to be a 5/5 next turn. I don't really want to give them cards if I don't have to, so I'm just going to pass. Yeah, this one's awkward. Makes construct. Pass. Well, I'd love to see a Malevolent Rumble off top. Make another construct. Okay, so that means that whatever they drew, they can't play Cutter into it. And I could block TKS, 6, 6, 7, 7. Yeah, so block TKS for the construct we really need. Again, they can't play Cutter unless they drew into a land. Even if they have Cutter, what then, right? So they're just going to grow the constructs, the clues. Yep, I can't block. Thundering Falls. It did have a land, I just couldn't do much of it. Yeah, we were asking for a rumble. green, colorless. I mean, you could Rebuke. It would force me to tap down significantly. They do not. TKS we could play. Fleshraker we could play. We don't want Ballista. Because Ballista is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So TKS or Fleshrake? I'm going to say probably a TKS. The Fleshrake is nice though because we can just drain them, but TKS we can take out the Corey Steel Cut. Now let's go TKS. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. TKS. Paying cost for Rebuke. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. Take out the Corey Steel Cut. Yes. So no Steel Cutters anymore, other than the one on field. No attacks, obviously. We'll pass. Galvanic Blast. Rude. Draws a card. Did he draw into a castable? If so, that would be annoying, but not the end of the world. So that's 16 damage. Blast is any target. So we could double block. I'm not sure if that's right, though. I'm going to say no. I'm going to take the 16 down to 4 and hope you don't have another blast. Draw. Flip Tamiyo. Corey Steel Cut. Bobble. Why not play the bobble earlier? Weird. Draw. Broodscale. So they just win, right? Because Tamiya will tick down, grab Galvanic Blast, hit me for 4. Yeah. Unless we attack at Tamiya. They ticked up, though. The lighted halflings do nothing. We attack, they block, they block. Combat. Now we have to attack at Tamiyo. Triggers. Trigger. All they need to do is block, and they have the win, I'll concede. If they let either or both through, then we're okay. Ish. Actually, probably not, because all they need to do then is attach Corey Steel Cut to a construct. I think we lose. But the bottom line is that Tamiyo cannot remain at 4 loyalty. Man, I feel like this is just an obvious choice. Just block both. Unless they, what are they concerned about? K command, I guess? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. Bob will target me. Shrinking the constructs. Okay. Weird. I mean, I will cast the Broodscale. I'm not entirely certain they actually see the line, so I'm just going to do this. Adapt. Always yes. Always yield. At that point, I'll pass. Pass in full. Okay, yeah, so you ended up seeing it. There we go. Alrighty. Well, that is a loss. So this looks like Cutter. I mean, Saga's on the table, so Wascape comes in. I don't think Damping Sphere is good here. Like a Prowess deck, sure, but just like a straight Cutter deck, not as much. Dismember Thief is decent. T-Case is kind of okay. Cut you. I think like this, we could arguably cut some number of Rumble. Aggie's not bad. Let's run it like this. Like maybe the right move is to cut a Rumble for Emrakul so we don't cut the second one. Yeah, probably. On the play for game 2. Yeah, I mean, that is in fact the turn 3 win. I just need another land. Either that or we play the Blade early, right? I will go Temple and pass. Hold Dismember. And hold. Draw. Second Flesh Raker, so this feels pretty good. Do you want another land, though, if this one sticks? Pass in full. Do you have a Consign? You do not. Do you have a Discharge? Or Blast, rather? No. Thundering Falls. And pass. Okay, you do have the Blast. Bobble. Land. Soul Cauldron. Not a land. Flash Rake. Pass. Blast. Opponent's blasting. Alright, well, okay. So then I think we just starve Broodscale next turn unless we draw into a land. I mean, if we draw into a land, I think we just starve Broodscale, Saga, Trigger, yep. Opal, sure. Draw. I mean, Malevolent Rumble does set it up for next turn. Rumble. Rumble. Land? Lands. Templar Cat. Could go Saga for another blade. It's not a bad idea. Saga. Saga trigger. This allows us to play blade now. Blade. Pass. And pass. 4. End step. Draw. In that case, Forest. Broodscale. Equip. Makes a construct. Blast. Rude. I guess I could have tapped the... Actually, no, it doesn't matter. If it deals 4 or 2. Trigger. Yield. Yeah. In that case... Cast Aggie Soul? Aggie Soul. And pass. And pass. I feel like I probably could have played that better. Make a construct, grab Pithy Needle, name Blade. Spell Bomb. Okay. What the fresh hell are you? Huh. That's a thing. Draw. Halfling. Float. Blade. Green. Broodscale. Two in hand. Pain cost rebuke. I can't pay for that. No. No, I cannot. No. Delighted halfling. Equip or get rid of a construct. I can't do both, unfortunately. Get rid of a construct. Triggers. And pass. Yeah, I should have played last turn a bit better because we would have already had a Broodscale on board. I guess they would have been able to spell bomb it, but then they wouldn't have the mana for rebuke. I'll take the 4. down to 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Draw. Stirrings. Cast Stirrings. Ballista. Cast Ballista. Blue. Spellbomb. Float. Ballista. Cost Consign. Lethal damage? Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I could have played one of the earlier turns a bit tighter if I had tapped the Saga. Like I said, my thought was that we make a construct, but I guess I should have held up an additional green source just in case I needed to recast or cast the second Broodscale. Yeah. Alright. Well, unfortunate. With that being said, we'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the draw for game 1. We'll keep this hand. I mean, this is set up pretty well. Because we're looking to go Saga on 1. Actually, do we want Saga on 1? Yeah, we do, because we're aiming for turn 3. Yes. Saga. What Saga deck is this is the question. Temple as well? Okay, so this is really good. Saga trigger. Pass. And pass. Saga trigger. Temple. This seems awkwardly similar to what I'm doing. I'm a bit concerned here. Draw. Trigger. Temple. Ballista does nothing. I mean, if they have the turn 3, they have the turn 3. Talk about a mirror match. Tap. Blade. Springleaf. No green source. Temple. Do they already have the blade? 4. TKS? Huh. So I take the Broodscale. We have our own TKS. They have Rumble. They can grab Broodscale. I mean, if they had the Blade, I feel like they would have... If they had the Broodscale, they would have played Broodscale. If they didn't have Blade, then they wouldn't have grabbed Springleaf. Yeah. The thing is, now if they grab Broodscale, we just TKS it. Yeah, so I feel like just grabbing a land, like, if they don't have the blade, grab the blade, play the blade. If they don't have the brood scale, they can't take, basically, they can't take the brood scale. Chooses blade, yeah, so that seems right. Draw. Blade. Trigger. Float. Blade. Forest. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I can do here is I could go Ballista and equip. Yes. Ballista equip actually might be the best play. So let's start with Blade, because Blade is mana neutral. Trigger. Always yield. Always yield. Ballista. X equals 1. Equip to Ballista. Yes, that. So I always yield mine. They should sack their spawns now. Yes, so they realize that. Triggers. This is going to get interesting really quickly. Yes. Equip. So I can't play my TKS, but that's fine. Just having the Ballista on board with the blades is very important here. I think at this point we pass, or do we equip blade? I'm thinking we equip blade. Trigger. At this point, I think we pass. And hold. Because now if Ballista on board with Blade, if they attempt a combo, they lose. Because active player, non-active player. Very important in the mirror match. This is K command. Equip blade. Yes. Cast K command, trigger. Oh, thought not. That's fine. TKS takes TKS, I imagine. ETB. Drain. I guess I probably should have shot down the flesh rake here to combat. Four. I can ping grow 3. So not exactly what we want to do here. Oh, you took the Emrakul. That's a choice. I'll take the 4. End step. Any reason to ping the spawn right now? So remove target spawn. Triggers. Draw. Why wouldn't you take the TKS? That's so weird to me. Flesh Rake. Go to combat. I'm thinking of attacking, but it's probably right not to. Yeah. So I'm thinking we just go Breeding Pool tapped. We could trigger, then shoot down the Flesh Rake. Don't really have a reason to do that right now, though, so we'll just pass. Yeah, this gets interesting, because I kind of want them to play a color spell to make a spawn. Four. So they have their own flat. What is going on right now? This is kind of insane with like how in sync we are. So I will sack my spawn. Triggers. Again, active player, non-active. So then I can target Flesh Rake. Yeah, like I said, non-active player, active player, non-active player is really important in the mirror here when blades are in play. So now I can ping down the Flesh Rake. Before it ever gets a counter. And then blades. That will trigger. A spawn will be made. That's fine. Flesh Rake will ETB. That's fine. Black. Colorless. Late equip. In response. Target the spawn. You should have sacked that. Target Flesh Rake. Because this is neutral. And then which one is this going to? You? I guess I should have waited until after attacks, admittedly. Triggers. Oh, they have to put their triggers on the stack now. Okay. I draw a card. It's a Broodscale. So yeah, we win next turn. Okay. Phase change. You'll be tapped out. You can swing for 4. Like I said, I probably should have waited until after combat. Opponent will concede. So this is Basking Broodscale, win for game 1. Okay. Interesting that they're also on TKS main. I feel like that isn't something that most people are on right now. So I wonder if this is in my Discord. QQ, are you in my Discord? Yeah, I'm just generally curious about that now. So Wayscaping, we don't want Damsphere. No? Fair enough. You should join. Alright, so TKS. Aggie Soul Cauldron. For the mirror match, do we want TKS? Let's see. I'm gonna go to Twitter real quick and grab my Discord link. I was like, I asked if they were, and they said no. I was like, well, you should join. I just, like I said, found it strange that they're also on TKS. It's not something that most are on right now. Copy link. Ugh, it's really doing this. YouTube. YouTube have link. I really should just like pin a static link to keep around, honestly. That's what I need to do. Do we want to cut TKS? That's what I'm not sure about. Like, it's decent hand disruption. Okay, let's do this real quick. Cut the TKS. Do we want to cut the Emrakul and just kind of go all in? Aggie Soul Cauldron's not as good here, I want to say, so we'll cut Aggie Soul Cauldron. Boop. And, Moto, cooperate. It always, like, Moto has these moments where it freezes and kind of freaks out a bit. Not sure what that's all about. Alright. So, we have the Aggie Soul Cauldron. We have Dismember for interaction. We have the Blade. I'll keep. We have K Command for interaction as well. Yeah, this feels good. Another Temp gets us to K Command X 2-on-2. A Halfling gets us to K Command 2-on-2. A Broodscale gets us to a turn 3 win, potentially. And I think opponent may have passed through their turn by mistake. I'm so sorry, opponent. Stirring seems right here for turn 1. So, Forest. We already have the blue source for Yavimaya. There's Wayscape. We otherwise could go E-Temp, but I think Wayscape is good here. Unfortunately, it's heavily telegraphed, right? We'll pass. Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi. Blade. Well, we're just going to exile the Blade. Saga. And kick. Blade down. And pass. Thinking we go Saga next turn, just so we can go Saga beats. Is this a Flesh Rake? Thief. Thief has no targets, so that's fine. Draw. Cavern of Souls. Target non-creature, non-land permanent. Yeah, 4 mana value or less. Saga trigger. Hold K Command X2 here. Yeah, we'll just do that. We could also Dismember, draw a card, try and find a Broodscale. Only the 3. Yep, that's fine. Do they have a K command X2 on 2? Well, I guess this would be K command X2 on 3. Well, that's annoying. But with Agatha Soul Cauldron, that's really good for me. Eldrazi creature spell. Oh, they messed up though. Broodscale. Okay, so we can do a lot of damage here. Yeah, if they had gone, if they tapped anything else, then that would have worked the way they wanted it to. I think we scry draw exile. So exile Broodscale. Done. Broodscale of our own. So bottom, top, and opponent concedes. I mean, they still were in it. I guess they had 2 cards in hand. The Haywire Might was offline. We're going to dismember it. Broodscale Blade gives us infinite. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position for them to win from at that point, because we draw into the Broodscale, and then if we draw into a win con, we just win at that point. All right. Well, not too bad at all. So that will end our league at 3-2 at the end of 5. Definitely could have been a bit better, admittedly. Our main losses were to Murktide and to Cutter. I was expecting more losses to Zoo, to be honest, but we actually cleared Zoo pretty well. All right, TKS felt good for the most part. I'm not entirely certain if it's necessary main. It does open up some sideboard slots, and it is very nice for being able to clear the way of potential threats, which I do like. So I don't know. Yeah, there's 4, maybe 6, right? 6 flex slots, I want to say. Let's take a look. Basically, we don't want to trim. I guess we could trim 2 win conditions, probably the Ballista and or Flesh Rake. But otherwise, keeping that at 11 is probably fine. I think the 6 flex slots are really Agatha Soul Cauldron and TKS. I guess you could argue Rumble as well. Rumble's been having mixed numbers. It's okay. So that might also be, so maybe like there's 10. Like basically there's the core of the deck, right? There's Ballista, Stirrings, Blade, Halfling, Broodscale, K-Command, Fleshraker, and Emrakul. And then you have more or less 10 slots to kind of play with. The question is whether or not you move more into a mid-range backup plan with something like Chrysalis or maybe Ugin or TKS, something like that, right? Or if you move more into just like full-on combo. I am debating maybe we start looking at Traverse the Uvenwall. It was a card I'm not horribly high on, but even a copy over, let's say, Rumble might be right because it does act as Broodscale's number 5. And I think that's the biggest thing that the deck does struggle with, is it's very easy to find the Blade. You have 8 copies of Blade for all intent and purpose. 4 Blades and 4 Saga. Basically, Saga doubles it. But you don't have many ways of finding the Broodscale short of just digging with Rumble with Stirrings, right? So that would be my initial thought, is maybe cut a copy of Rumble for Uvenwall instead. That way, in a pinch, we can always just search for Broodscale. Maybe I'll start testing that tomorrow. I do like the Blue Splash in Yavimaya and Breeding Pool because it does more reliably allow us to Wastegate Battle Mage for blue, or kick blue rather, and bounce something, which I do like. Wastegate in general is just a fantastic card. I think it's been horribly underutilized in Eldrazi. I wasn't certain about it at first, but when we started seeing such great numbers from it in Eldrazi aggro, it was just kind of that realization moment of, oh, Nature's Claim is garbage, But Wayscape Battle Mage, now this card's something else. Because, like, yeah, for 5 mana, exile an artifact or enchantment, bounce a creature, it can just be a huge tempo swing. Huh. Not sure about the defense grid either. I don't think we really saw it at all. Damsphere feels fine for prowess and or storm. Dismember feels fine. Wayscape feels great. I don't know about Thief. I really don't. There's a lot of times where I just don't feel like Thief is as good as, let's say, the Wayscape by comparison. So yeah, I don't know about Thief existence. I think if there's like more Karn, then sure. I know there are some planeswalkers in the way of like Tamio, Ajani, that are good targets, but yeah, I don't know about Thief. I don't know about Thief. I had to give that one more thought. Either ways, deck feels good. We're still at a pretty positive record right now. Let's see. Let's check the analysis at the end of today's round. We are currently at a 56% win rate. I think I played a few offline and ended up scrubbing out of that league, unfortunately. They're close matches, but close does not get you the win. So still sitting at a 56.76 win percent. That definitely could see an increase, but I think as the deck starts to solidify around the core, we'll see a win percent increase. So not too worried about that. Either ways though, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It is much appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me and both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers, at which point I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, and I'll be able to save up towards a streaming PC, so I'm going to stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, and get early access to my YouTube videos and any updates I make to my deck guides. With that being said, I will see y'all next time. Bye bye!